Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Excel Engineering College. So I am handling the subject Applied Hydraulic Engineering. The subject course code of the subject is CE6403. So I am going to the unit is Uniform Flow. So in this unit, especially we are study about the open channel. So consider this is the rectangle channel. So we can say that there is a water flow. So up to here, this is because as a depth of flow, we simply mention as y. So whereas if you are width of the flow, you are considered as b. So b and y. B is the width of the flow, the y is the depth of the flow. This is the rectangle channel. So what is meant by uniform flow? We are considering the fuel properties, flow properties, that is depth, then velocity, then discharge. Discharge of the flow, it remains constant over the particular distance. So we call it as a uniform flow in the channel. So I am going to be especially in the topic of classification of flow. Classification of flow. So in these classifications, the first one is based on flow properties. Flow properties with respect to distance. With respect to distance. Number two, based on flow properties with respect to time. And third one, based on Reynolds number. Reynolds number. Then fourth classification is based on Froude number. Froude number. This is the major four classifications of open channel. So first one is based on flow properties with respect to distance. The second one based on flow properties with respect to time, based on the Reynolds number. The fourth one based on Froude number. So I am going to explain each and everything elaborately. The first one based on flow properties with respect to distance. So in this classifications, the flow may be classified into two. The number one, steady flow. Number two, unsteady flow. So what is meant by steady flow and unsteady flow? How can we classify? How can we differentiate? Because we are considering an open channel. We are taking in two sections. At the section 1, we are taking the flow properties like depth, velocity, discharge. Then we are considering over a long period, over a long distance, we are taking a same depth, then velocity and discharge Q. This doesn't change. So wherever the distance, the flow properties doesn't change because it's a steady flow, whereas the Y1 which is not equal to Y2, then velocity V1 which is not equal to V2, Q1 which is not equal to Q2, we call it as an unsteady flow. So this is the elaboration of steady flow and unsteady flow. The second one, based on flow properties with respect to time. So based on the time, we can classify as the number one, uniform flow. Number two, non-uniform flow. So as the name indicates, we can classify, we can differentiate easily. Uniform flow means the flow doesn't change over a long time. So if you are taking here in the channel, suppose depth of the flow, discharge of the flow, the discharge and the depth over a long period remains constant because it is a uniform flow. Whereas non-uniform flow, it will be varied to time. We are taking here the 0th minute, it's the same distance means, whereas taking a So what do you mean by gradually varied flow? As the name indicates, the flow will be varied gradually over a long period. We are taking one dam on the upstream side. The flow will be gradually varied over a long distance speeds more than the kilometer. So we call it as a backwater curve. The formation is backwater curve. So this is the example for gradually varied flow. Number 2, rapidly varied flow. So rapidly varied flow means the flow would be very rapidly at a small distance. So after a process over the dam, the water is passed over the dam. Here rapidly varying. The example is hydraulic jump. Hydraulic jump. The example is the flood, then uncontrollable water during the rainy season. This kind of the flow will be occurred during the rapidly. So the last third classification is Reynolds number. As we know the formula, the RE is rho V L by mu. So rho is density of the water, V is the velocity of the water, L is the length of the water, mu is the viscosity of the water. So we can classify into two types. Number 1, laminar flow and turbulent flow. Then fourth one is based on Froude number. The first one is subcritical flow. Second one is critical flow. Third one is supercritical flow. So subcritical flow is Froude number is less than 1. We classify as a subcritical flow. Equal to 1 is critical flow. Then greater than 1 is supercritical flow based on the formula of Froude number. So this is the major classification, major categories of the flow. So thank you for the listening of my